All right, guys, sorry about that. As typical with technology, we had a freezing issue and so we're back. So Cheryl, we were just on the question about giving us an update of any loan products you have available for people and what you're seeing in terms of new requests. Could you just hit that question again?
Sure, no problem. So we don't have any new product offerings within our homeownership program, but we're continuing to reserve loans under all of our current programs. So regular bond, down payment assistance, Veterans Home Loan Program, mortgage credit certificate, all of those we're reserving as normal. The reservations that are coming in, I think one of the program staff said it's a little feast or famine. So some days we're seeing 0 of reservations and some days we're seeing 1,000,000 of reservations. But the rates in the market continue to stay pretty low. So folks are still out looking for homes and trying to take advantage of those low rates, and we want to be there to support them. So we really need to thank our participating lenders that are continuing to work with us during this difficult time. We've issued some specific programmatic guidance on some adjustments we've made that kind of align with some other guidance that's come out from our investors and insurers under the CARES Act, and that's available on our website under the participating lenders programs updates. So I won't go into the nitty gritty, but we're just trying to be flexible. I think one of the main things to note is that it could be the case that a loan closes and then after the note date, a borrower experiences a job loss or substantial financial hardship due to COVID. And in those cases, under the CARES Act, we will still work with our participating lenders to purchase those loans in those forbearance situations. So kudos to homeownership staff and our participating lenders for working through kind of a challenging market.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So talk a little bit about how Montana Housing is responding to COVID in general. What kind of things are you guys doing, rental or homeownership?
Sure. So I think internally for our organization, like everyone else, we've had to adapt to a new remote working environment. I think you and I are both parents of young children, and so that's been, certainly a part of the joy. It is nice to eat lunch with my kiddo every day, but it's a little bit of a challenge. We do have a small number of staff that still work in office. They're doing some essential processes like mail and check processing that we really need people in-house to do, but probably 80% or so of our workforce is remote. We're really looking at all of our existing or future options for resources to kind of put those out for programs to assist Montanans during this time. So one opportunity that we had is we had an existing fund source of TANF funds that had been allocated to Montana Housing several years back. And we worked with the governor's office and were able with him to issue a directive that would enable us to use those TANF funds as grants rather than loans. And now we're using those funds as grants to provide rental assistance and security deposit assistance. So the eligibility is Montanans who are families with minor children. There are also income limits and some resource limits that apply. But we're taking applications now. We launched the program within a week's time and we're going full steam. So folks should visit our website to learn about the eligibility details. It's really going to be contingent on available funds, how much support that we can provide, but we're hopeful that there may be other monies, either federal or state, identified down the road that could be added to this existing pool of funds. And if that's the case, we may be able to expand the eligible population beyond families with minor children to other Montanans, individuals, couples, seniors, and persons with disabilities.
Yeah, that's great. So you mentioned briefly, go to your website. How can people get in touch with you with Montana Housing if they are interested in anything you offer or want further information?
Sure. So housing.mt.gov is our website. We've got a really prominent banner across the top of the webpage for our COVID-19 guidance that'll take you to more details. You can also call us directly, 406, and of course I don't have our numbers memorized, 841-2840. Yes. Or if you're looking in that for the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, you can also email us at COVID-19housingassist@mt.gov.
Great. We'll link all of those in the comment section of this so people can have that information if they need it. We'll make sure to get that there. Anything else you want to let our viewers know about Montana Housing, about what you guys are doing? Anything else?
Sure. I mean, I think one of the big things that's come out during this COVID-19 guidance or situation is various directives that have been issued out of the governor's office around some consumer protections. So those include some things around kind of temporary halts on evictions and foreclosures, and stoppages on utilities. And so our COVID-19 guidance page includes a number of FAQs about those directives. The directive on the evictions and foreclosures was extended through May 24th, but there are some specific caveats for individuals that are still considered vulnerable that need to remain sheltered at home. And so if folks need to really be familiar with what their protections available are, and we've really tried to give some really clear FAQs to help guide what folks' options are. And it's really important to stress that those temporary moratoriums on evictions and foreclosures do not relieve a tenant or a borrower's obligation to pay rent. So it's really important that folks are in touch with their mortgage servicer and with their landlord to let them know what their situation is and work out an arrangement.
Awesome. We so appreciate all the things you guys do at Montana Housing and all the way you guys help Montanans, and we just really wanted to have you guys on this morning. So thank you so much. And like I said, we'll put all the ways to get in touch with Montana Housing in the description of this live video, so you can get in touch with them. Or most lenders across the state know somewhat about what you guys do and can direct you that way as well. So Cheryl, thank you so much for joining us. Stay safe and healthy.
All right, you do the same. Thanks, Katie.
Thanks.